Be present in over 150 experiences covering every genre imaginable. Virtual Presence Productions.
I ate too fast.
What'd you eat? All I smell is like potato chips.
Burrito, man, with Doritos.
Dorito burrito.
No, a burrito.
With Doritos.
With Doritos, with spicy nacho Doritos.
All right, man. Here we go.
Wait a second. I got issues.
Oh, poor George.
Yeah, man.
Poor George. I'm gonna put together our full interview and release it. Because I never did that, actually. What's she doing? What the fuck is in that? Oh, it's smelling salts? What the fuck is that?
No, it's a nasal decongestant from Thailand.
But it seems like it's
What?
it's intense. You were.
Yeah, I missed.
Oh.
It went in my eye.
Are we allowed to talk about Thailand? Do people know? Is it you're living there or you're?
No, one knows I'm living there.
Well, I just said it.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Because I'm not living there.
But you're spending an inordinate amount of time there.
Now, inordinate is all relative.
It's all relative. All right. Well, okay. We'll just start this shit. Welcome to what might be, I think it is, the very last Virtual Presence podcast. Which seems odd because when things are going good, you'd think that would be the time to like live it up every month.
You would.
However, it's going so well, it's just not going to be a possibility. Not when you're making 4 or 5 pieces of content per week.
Yeah, man, I gotta make sure I look good on camera, man.
Yeah.
After all, I am the mayor.
Yeah, you are the mayor. I like that. You used to make fun of my Maynard G. Krebs. What the fuck is this shit, dude?
Hey, man, this is my homage to D.L. Hughley.
This is a review.
Or maybe a black Amish man.
Flashing the fundamentals is shifting.
Dude.
It's spinning right around. In fact, that's a wrinkly shirt. My shirt looks like.
And there's a wrinkly shirt underneath it.
I love you, dog. I'm so happy for you. It's such a cool
But
switch.
it still matches.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I don't have that going. I'm also wearing the original. This is before the cease and desist. RentTheDelorean.com t-shirt.
The one with the font is just too perfect.
I nailed it, dude. The attorney literally said to me, he goes, I mean, I get that there are fonts that are similar, but come on, dude. Like, and I worked really hard on it. I tried to make it exact.
And apparently, you atomized it.
Yes,
and
I atomized
perfect.
it too well. But this is a big announcement. This is going to be the craziest podcast of my life. Whole bunch of shit going on. But I sold RentTheDelorean.com. I'm now wearing Tim and Olivia's shirt for their website.
Wait, hold up. Am I supposed to be surprised like I didn't know it?
No. You know Tim. Tim is, Olivia.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. When did that happen?
Yeah, that happened, I don't know, kind of in the middle of all this greater stuff. But
you really did that, huh?
Yeah.
Rent the DeLorean.
I mean, I should have done it before. I don't want to drive the car anymore. I keep saying that to people. Now I don't have to drive the car anymore.
And
But
I looked over there, and it looks like Doc Brown's car when it was all covered up.
I love it, dude. It looks like a weather experiment. That is a cool cover, man.
It is.
I'm more proud of that than the car. Tim is, I guess, kind of managing you and some of the other cast members. And, I mean, you call me P.T. Barnum. Shit. This guy.
I would call him like maybe Apple Barnum.
I was going to say, I'm more like A.B. Barnum. I'm a little lower on the totem pole because when I make any money, I'm like, I'm good. That's sweet. That's awesome. Not Tim.
Yeah.
Tim's going to take over the world.
Tim's mind thinks
he's going.
That's
like, great.
It's amazing. Man.
That's great.
I can't even quantify it or qualify it.
I can think like that on this virtual presence thing. Oh, I got all, but not on Back to the Future because. Fuck.
Yeah, but see, can you multi-focus like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Do you know what I did this month?
I'm talking about anything other than virtual.
Oh, you mean all the business side and all the creative side?
Yeah.
You mean what I did this month? All right. Anyway, so that's the news, and I thought, as the last.
Sometimes you tee it up, and sometimes
fuck off. So I was gonna just say, congratulations, Tim, on a very well-kept site and very honorable site. I think what he's going to do is cool because he's not going to erase the history of it. He wants to keep that as part of it. He wants to have, fastest DeLorean movies there to show people this is the start, and we're just continuing that brand, which I think is a very good idea, because honestly, that brand never had a complaint. That brand never had a problem, and it better stay that way, man, because you start fucking some shit up, my name's gonna be all over it.
That brand was the only brand that Goldie Wilson ever branded with.
Exactly. That's the point. Now you're branding with him. Well, that's not true because you helped him with some of his stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean,
so now it's equal.
It's a transition. Right,
it's a perfect transition. So I'm very excited for Tim and Olivia from. He wanted me to mention what their base site is. It's the Doc's Time Machines.
Yeah, Doc's Time Machines.
Doc's Time Machines. Well, there's a bunch of them, man. So, they can't all be Rent the DeLorean. I mean, so. I love it when fans make their websites for their car and they don't realize that they don't know who Doc is. Like, the brain is just like, how do I rent the DeLorean? They're not like, how do I rent Doc and Marty's fun?
That's the Barnum in you.
Right. I was like, dude, why the, Seinfeld called Doc the Professor in one of his things. He's like, what was that professor's name? I'm like, yeah, that's what most people think of Back to the Future. They don't know all the ins and outs.
I recently watched them back to back on a flight home.
Kind of good.
So knowing the film like I do, I just look for, I nitpick.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many things that are in that film that work, that don't work, that people see, that people don't see. It's true. Crazy, man.
No, I mean, it's funny. I mean, how many times I have to watch that in 2015 to the point where I just want to kill myself? I'd still get stuck in it for 10 or 15 minutes and be like, it's wild. It doesn't matter how many times you see it. It's a good movie. It's a very good movie, obviously. But we're here today to talk about the craziest month of my life, easily. The last podcast I had was the day before May 1st, I guess June 30th. And I said, tomorrow I'm about to go talk to Pete Carroll. And the name of the podcast was This Is It. Like, this either happens or it doesn't happen. This and the Dodgers and all that's all we got. And May 1st comes, I go to Pete Carroll. As I've been told for the past couple months, I'm shooting the mini camp. And I go up to him like, man, I can't wait to, I shake his hand. I'm like, can't wait to shoot the mini camp with you. And he goes,
that's funny, right on cue.
he's like, what is that, sir? He's like, oh, we're kind of covered in the VR department. He goes, but you can, if you just want to, come up next weekend and show it to some people, that'd be great. And I'm like, what?
You just want to come up and show it.
And I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, I'll do that. And I call half, and I'm like, oh fuck, what the fuck? And so I talked to the person who had set all that up, and he said, oh yeah, I told you that. He isn't really sure how it's going to work, but don't go up there unless you have other meetings set with the people at the Raiders. And I went, and how would you? He's like, just go on the website and email them. And I'm like, all right. You go on the website, there's no emails, and I'm just like, I've gone from Pete Carroll's right hand man to, why don't you just cold call the GM and ask him for a meeting? And it's like, what the shit just happened? So I did it. I did what I was supposed to do. I emailed everybody. Nobody fucking responded. That was a Friday, and then Tuesday comes. I finally talked to the guy again. He's like, well, you emailed the wrong person. I'm like, listen, dog, like, I don't know who to email because I don't have an introduction. This isn't how any of this works. I've been doing this with all of these teams. And now if I do get an email, I got to fly back and forth to Vegas for 18 different meetings to get So he said, email this person. So I email that person. Don't get a reply. I just let it go. I'm like, you know what? This is a running around goose chase ride.
I didn't know you had that much grunt work in it.
Oh, it gets crazy. And so I just go, oh, well, It's like, am I supposed to go up to the gate and be like, Pete asked me to be here. Like, I don't have, nobody's contacted me. Hang up. I tell Ty, I'm sorry. We just got to focus on the Dodgers because I have a meeting coming up with the Dodgers. And I get a call an hour later. And it's some coach operations guy saying, hey, I just talked to Pete. He wanted you to come up. Because I'm sorry, it's really quick notice. Can you come up? And I'm like, yes. And then I realized that guy told me don't go up unless you have a meeting with the executives. And I'm like, well, I got Pete. What do I do? He asked me. I'm not. So I text the guy and I'm like, listen, I know you said don't, if I have, but I'm gonna go up there, just hoping, And he goes, yeah, good idea. I'm like, okay. So I go up there, and I shoot a training camp, go back to the hotel, get it all edited, go to show it to him in the morning, and Pete Carroll loves it, right? He takes me, he goes, all right, come here, let's go show it to the president. Walks me upstairs, president wasn't there. Walks me up to the owner's not there. He's running around, finds the GM, shows the GM. GM's like, this is amazing. Pete's like, we got to do this. And it's like, okay, God, this is awesome, right? And he goes, you know what? Mark will be here later, the owner. So can you just hang out? I'm like, yeah, I'll miss my flight. I don't give a shit. I'll stay here as long as I have to. And wouldn't you know, I see Mark pull up. I see Pete in the hall, and everybody's in between meetings. You kind of just got to be standing there waiting and looking like you're supposed to be doing something. And I tell him Mark's here. He's like, let's go now. It's like, okay. He walks me into the room. He looks back. He goes, not a lot of people get to walk into here. And we walk into this office.
Crazy,
it was the craziest thing. We walk into this office.
Crazy.
Even crazier is we're actually reenacting it for the trailer. So we walk into this office. It's all white. The whole place is black, right? Because Raiders. But not Mark Davis's office. Is beautiful, what and he says, Mark, meet Adam. You got to see this. You just got to see this. And so Mark's like, okay, whatever. And so I put him in it, and within 20 seconds, dude.
Oh my God!
Within
Al
20
Davis'
seconds,
son.
yeah, right. Within 20 seconds, he just goes, "Son of a bitch!" and he's like Harry Carey, and he's freaking out. And like all the blood drains from my face. Like I'm like, I fucking did it. like this is over, right? So he gets out of it. He's talking to me. He just takes off. Like, what the fuck's going on? And I explained to him about the other people we shot, LeBron and Otani. And he's like, can I see that? I'm like, of course you can see that, dude. So I show him that same thing. Son of a bitch! Like he's freaking out, and he sees the Rams stuff, which to him he's putting his team in there,
right.
Going. He goes. He takes it off. He's like, I want this. I want to own this. I want. What do I do to have this at least for a year? Because I know you're going to take this to other teams. And I went, let's figure this out. Let's go back, figure this out.
That's crazy.
It was that quick.
That's crazy.
So it's funny because then he takes me out. He's walking me out. He sees the GM, and he takes me into that room. Pete comes by. So it's me, the owner, the GM, and Pete. And Pete and Mark are going crazy over it. They're like, oh my God, we could do this, And the poor fucking GM, who only cares about football players. He's trying to fucking win some games. He could give two shits about this video. And in the middle, Mark's like, oh, you got to watch the LeBron stuff. So we have to put it in that. And then he watches it, and he's like, yeah, this is really amazing, guys. But, like, draft picks. That's what I'm... So we get out of that, and I finally I said, I'm like, I'm going to leave while I'm ahead. Like, can we please stop meeting people? Because I'm going to fuck up and say something wrong. And you're going to be like, we can't do this anymore. So I get the fuck out of there. That's a Saturday. Monday, I get a call from the guy that set everything up, who was Pete's friend, who all this stuff. And he says, I'm going to be going up on Wednesday to gauge the temperature to figure out how we do this. But I'm not involved in that. And I was like, okay. What could go wrong? So he goes up, and he comes back the following day, and he calls me in half, and he goes, oh, you weren't lying about the temperature. This is next level. So we're going to put together a plan to do this. And he goes, I want to show it to this other owner who's this huge billionaire investor and, has access to even more funds. And, he goes, I was going to work with the Raiders, but I want to work with this. I want to do this. This is how I want to do this. Just, give me a percentage of something. I'm like, all right, whatever. Nothing of nothing is nothing. So I don't give a fuck. What do you want? And,
you call me right in the middle of a podcast.
You could read that.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, I just lined up.
I gotta go. I'll call you back. This fucking house.
It's 180, dude. I mean, it's 180. This fucking house, you're on camera. So he wants to show it to this guy, and we put this thing together, and because he wants this to be really big. So he don't have to work anymore. And I get it. We all get to an age where we're just trying to figure out our exit plan of working.
Right.
And I at some point, I'm like, can we get the deal done? Because I hear you. And
these millionaires and billionaires are talking to each other.
Like, maybe what happens, like, can we just Egon's gonna love it. Everybody said Egon's gonna love it. I'm like, I'm sure Egon's gonna love it. But can we just get it done? Because
every time you say that name, it reminds me of Game of Thrones. But
yeah. I mean, he's a badass dude. You know. So we go up there, waiting all day, and everybody's excited. Mark wasn't supposed to be there, but then he comes in at the last second day, and he's excited to see me. It's so weird to like tap on Mark's door, and he's like, Adam! And he jumps up and shakes your hand, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? So then we go into the room, we throw it on billionaire number 2, I like to call him, but he's a human. His name's Egon. And he watches, he's like, that was amazing. He goes, this is never gonna work. And everybody's fucking blood drains from their face. And he goes, Adam, Meta's tried to do it. Apple Vision Pro isn't working. The video, it's just nobody will watch it. And I said, it's because they're not doing it like this. And I said, I know it's arrogant of me to sit here and tell you these billion and trillion dollar companies are doing this incorrectly, but I can prove it. And, he goes, well, maybe we'll just do some focus groups and do it next year. And of course Pete wants to do this because this is the beginning of his final coaching job, right? That he wants to like really document this. And so we go back and forth for 90 minutes. A 30-minute thing went 90 minutes. And I sat and I watched 2 billionaires go back and forth over me. And it was got to be the weirdest thing I've ever been through, dude.
Were you saying anything?
Oh yeah, it was the 3 of us just talking and talking and talking. Almost everybody else was just like, oh fuck, because they don't understand necessarily the business side of it. Egon isn't wrong. Yes, they have fucked it up, but I don't think he's watched enough of the really bad shit to understand why my shit is really good. And so, but he basically just said, there's no reason to throw money behind this now. Let's do a focus group and see what the reactions are and so forth. So it's basically dead. I mean, what we had basically an exclusive season, all this kind of stuff. So I leave. The dude who set it up turns to me. He's like, "That was a mistake. We probably should have
left Egon alone.
Well, we probably should have just done the deal, and then you know." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Yeah, okay, it's all right. We're good. We'll figure this out." And Pete feels bad. He's like, "Listen, I'm gonna try to talk to Mark. I think we can figure something out." And in my head, I'm thinking, you need to coach a football team. At some point, your focus is gonna go, tough shit, kid, and he's gonna fucking. And I'm like, that is not your purpose. Right. So I get home. By the way, we fly into Burbank, and there were no available gates. 7 of the 8 gates were cars that were parked overnight. And one of the gates was a JetBlue flight that was supposed to have left.
So you just have to sit on the tarmac?
We sat on the tarmac, and it was broken. So we sat on the tarmac for over 2 hours next to our gate, and they couldn't let us off.
That was 1 hour short of getting paid.
It was crazy. So only a pilot would say that. So I get up in the morning, and I'm like, what do I do? I'm not going to put this on Pete. I gotta throw a Hail Mary. So I make a video, send it to what I think is Pete and Mark, and basically just saying, listen, I appreciate the introduction from the person that introduced me. However, I don't know if he understands the business model. Here's how we do this. And I basically set up something that makes them commit, but also we prove it by getting subscribers before we launch. And I write this long action plan, and my intermediary sent it to them, and we wait. And apparently he gets a call. I didn't hear about this till the next morning at like 11 o'clock at night. Pete got it, called up Egon. They talked about it, and Egon said, you know what? That'll work. I'll sign off on that. Damn. And that was it. I changed the billionaire's mind.
See, that's just another way of just getting the middleman out of the mix.
Yeah, I mean, and again, the middleman was necessary. I don't know Pete Carroll, but he didn't actually understand what it was he was selling. Like, he still thought it ran off your phone, and you know what I mean? And I get it. It's hard to explain, but also I was seen as the artist and the talent, and most times those people don't understand the business of it. So when I wrote that action plan, he was like, God damn. How the fuck did you... Well, that was a magic trick. He goes, I'm so sorry.
You spoke to him in their language.
Right. Well, I know exactly what to do to make this work. Yeah. I know exactly what to do. And I know what hasn't worked. And what hasn't worked is dipping your toe and doing a focus group and doing one video. So what? So then
but how do you? I mean, you know. So where do you get the subscriber base from?
So here's what's going to happen, and this is what happens for the next. It's going to be kind of crazy. We've gone back and forth on term sheet, whatever. I'm waiting on the final signatures that could come today, or I've already been told they're good with it. What they're trying to work on is their side of the action plan, which requires them to have some people helping with distribution and video and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's hitting all those departments.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Yeah. You're basically creating a new compartment.
It's going through legal and everything.
They're fine with my terms. That's easy. So what it's going to be is it's going to be 24 shoots over 24 weeks. And from each shoot, we'll probably get 4 to 5 pieces of content. We're going to go, I think, on June 10th, I believe. We're going to shoot like a trailer. And Pete has agreed to do this trailer where he talks directly to you and calls you VP for virtual presence. And he's like, I'm excited to see you guys are gonna have the best time. You're gonna see some amazing stuff. Let's go meet the owner. He's gonna take me in, and we're gonna reenact that scene where he's like, you know, a lot of people have never been able to walk in here, and you're gonna get to go in, and Mark's gonna be like, oh, I'm so excited to have you guys here for the season. It's gonna be the coolest thing. You're gonna be my owner's box, and you're gonna see all this cool stuff. You're gonna be in the locker room. It's gonna be amazing, VP. I can't wait. And then he's going to introduce me to the players, and we're going to go through the facility, and then he's going to end it looking at a schedule, and going like, okay, I'm going back to Seattle. It's going to be pretty cool. You're going to be with me for that, and we're going to and tell people what they're about to see.
Dude, that's kind of dope, man. Oh my god.
And then when you put the glasses on, you're just going, and the team is going to be talking to you. The players are going to be, hey VP, what's up? Just like LeBron did when he talks to the camera. And so you're going to be there. You're going to be virtually present for all of this shit at the training camp, behind the players during pregame, sideline stuff. And
I love the double entendre. Hey, VP. That'd be very important.
No, well, that's VIP.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's virtual presence.
Yeah, but you get it.
No, it all works out perfectly. I picked a good name.
VP meaning vice president.
Right. But no, it's awesome because that's going to be. You're going to put your headset on for $20 a month. I mean, Jesus Christ, and you get access to all of this. Is that the
only programming that they're going to be able to get for that, or will it be like attached on to, like, say, the team, so to speak, the team's site, if you will?
I mean, all their stuff is free anyway. Right. This is a premium experience that's going to allow them to... Now, you'll be able to look at it on your phone once you log into your thing, and you know what it looks like on your phone. It's cool, but whatever. But you'll be able to go in, and you'll have access to all of it. What I think sold them was I tried to explain that what we're building is like a Netflix, not just like a one-off weekly show, because everything's going to be on demand. And let's say we do capture something really amazing, like a game-winning locker room speech, and you're standing there with the players while they're high-fiving each other and they fist bumped you, and you're in that. That's not going to have a shelf life that expires. You're going to want to feel...
It's going to always be that experience.
You're going to want to feel certain things, especially in the off-season as you're getting excited about the next season, to be able to have access to that, grab a video, show a friend, right? That's another thing, too. This $20 a month, I think, is
won't be easily accessible footage. Well, it won't be accessible footage anywhere other than that particular.
But it's experiential. It's not just watching. It's actually feeling something.
Call it immersive.
Oh, it's certainly immersive, but I don't like to use that because that's what Apple and Meta use. And I'm like, you guys, no, it's virtual presence. It's virtual presence. I want to name this format virtual presence. Yeah, because that's what it is. It's not VR video. It's not CG virtual reality. So that's what we're going to do in June. Hopefully get it done and get the call to action part of the site ready so people can put their money down.
You say June. June is like in
2
days.
I could do it right now. I'm just waiting. But I believe we'll have about a month to do a media tour, right? Hit up everybody. I mean, Rich Eisen and Peter Close, and like try to get. We'll put this trailer everywhere. I mean, everywhere. On every VR site, on every, just like push it, and at least get a chunk of people ready to go. And then you continue to push it, obviously. But like, I mean, Raider Nation is crazy. Though that fan base is so international and
totally international, dude.
Dude, the guy who did this, when I told him I was doing the Rams game, he's like, Raiders. And he said, I'm going to SoFi to see them when they play the Raiders. And I'm like,
The Raider thing is deep, man.
It's so much deeper than I realized. So it's actually a perfect fan base. And Pete has brought this energy to this team. I mean, everybody is excited to watch them. I'm watching. I'm like reading comments where it's like, yeah, I'm a Broncos fan, but dude, I'm really excited to see what Pete can do. Or obviously the Seahawks fans who love him because of the Super Bowl, and it's just, it's I'm in middle of this wave, and the truth is, if this doesn't work, it was never going to work. This is the greatest use case I've ever had. This will prove my concept, and if we do it right, every team is going to need to have a virtual presence, right? It's like social media. Like, one team did a TikTok account, and then pretty soon every team was like, man, we need a fucking TikTok account, right? And that this is a big deal. But on the term sheet, what's nice is they commit for multiple seasons. Only the first one's exclusive, and nobody else can, no other team can do that. So this is the shit, dude. This is it. This is why I'm not going to be doing these videos much longer. And I'm so sorry if you enjoyed the journey in VR, because fuck that. It's going back to flat real quick, except for some shit with my kids that I might want to capture, but I got a lot of work to do.
You do. I'm surprised at how much legwork you put into it. I only got the chapter headings, and sometimes the first 3 or 4 paragraphs.
Well, because you can't read. I understand. I mean, there's a big delay in your ability to take in information that's longer than about 5 words. So,
as I sit here and factor that statement, it started off with like, here comes a compliment. Then all of a sudden, I began to feel a paper cut right underneath my armpits. And because I am who I am,
I gave him the entries. He's like, I'm not reading this shit. What happened? Like, it was bad. It is good now. Send. Woo! So that's why we've been saying, flashing the fundamentals just turned around, because this man has kind of drawn down his flashiness. He's living it up. I mean, is it living it up in Thailand when you're only paying like $50 a night for anything?
It's living
it down. You're living.
It's living. It's living without the pressures of Western society.
It's crazy because we'll have these phone calls and he'll say shit to me that sounds like me 5 years ago. And because he used to tell me about, his yacht and his plane and the bills, and I'm like, I sat with my kids today and we played checkers, and it was the greatest day of my goddamn life. And he's like, oh man. Fuck.
Simplicity, man.
No, it is.
Real life simplicity.
Right.
None of the stuff that you just mentioned,
Yeah.
It's just no planes, trains, and automobiles.
Well, the weight on your psyche having to keep that up. I don't know how you did it as long as you did it.
Well, having grown up in this particular society and the particular field that I grew up in. It's just kind of like the process,
right?
If you will, and you get caught in the process, and if you're able to step away and look back at the process, you're going like, oh man,
Yeah.
So that's what Thailand did. Well, that's what Southeast Asia did for me,
right?
It removed me from the process, so I could look back and go like, oh man, this is way cooler than what I was doing.
And this is just in the last 6 months. Like you went and you kind of figured your shit out.
Yeah.
Because you're right. You're right. That's what I've been trying to tell you. You giggle about,
And now you're getting ready to have these big NFL contracts, and you're going to get a bigger car and a bigger house.
No, I'm not.
You will.
No, I will not get a bigger car. I will probably have to at some point get another house.
You'll get another house, and you'll get a really nice SUV. You will. You will. I'm betting on camera that he will. Let his dollar amount increase.
Do you know? Watch. Let me put it this way. If I buy another house, I will have bought it in cash.
The more money you come across, the more problems you see.
That's why it's funny because I had to then work out a deal with Hef because I'm taking care of my man.
Every time you say Hef, man, it kind of, the mind glitches.
Well, what's funny is that as we were doing this, he thought he was going to be doing what this other guy was doing. And when that guy was doing something, he went, well, shit, there's my role. And I'm like, would you like 25% of the company, sir? And he went, yes. And I said, okay. And then I realized, well, shit, we're not going to make any money the first company because we're going to be reinvesting it. And I said, so I gave him a whole different deal. And I said, you can have both. So I'm taking care of Hef. There's a reason I put him on that chair. And I said, you are the man responsible because he's the guy who introduced me to everybody for nothing and never asked for anything.
So where did you meet Hef?
I went to Bali and showed it to him. And he just kind of took it over, and he got me into the NBA game.
What, you just cold called?
No. I mean, JD's the start of all this. This guy named JD Career. I did a Delorean gig for Lakers TV, and he was the producer. And then I called him up and said, hey, can you see this? And he came and saw it, and we sat here and talked, and he said, I know a guy at Bali. And he showed it to that guy, and then that guy showed it to, we showed it to Hef, and that's how I got to Hef, who was an executive producer. And he then took it to his boss and said, I'm going to let him go to the NBA playoffs and shoot some shit. And I'm going to let him go to the NHL and shoot some shit. You have a problem? He's like, nah, it's cool. So he got me into there, so I make even better reel. And then we take that reel to the Clippers, and we take that reel to Amazon, which is where he works now, by the way. We take it to Spectrum. Spectrum gets me LeBron James. He takes it to his friend at the Dodgers. That guy likes it. He gets me Shohei Ohtani. He takes me to the guy that got me Pete Carroll. Like, he introduced me to literally everybody. Never asked for a dime. Never asked for a percentage. And whenever I'd ask him, I'm like, how do I don't have anything. He's like, Adam, if we ever get to a point where we're really asking that question, it'll be the greatest thing that ever happened. And then we got to that point. And we're talking to attorneys and accountants, and we're like, we hang up the phone on the three-way call, and then we're like, can you believe the fucking shit that's happening right now? And I'm so happy because he's one of those guys that's just a nice guy that's helped people probably his whole life, and nothing ever really happens. Right, you know what I mean? Like we all help and we hope, and we're like, yeah, you know, if they, hey, come me a check for $1 million if you blah 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 blah, and you're all just talking, just whatever. I like you, I'm gonna help you out. I might cut him a check for $1 million. Like that's on the table. And he might be like, no, I'm not going to take that right now. I'd like to push it forward a little bit because this might get even, because what's going to happen when this is public, we're going right back to the Clippers and the Dodgers and the Lakers.
And the price point
it doesn't have to go up. Here's how we're doing it with this team. Here, and so you can start to see how
the price point will be up because the agents will be involved selling.
No, I'm not going to listen. I'm getting
urban living.
Yeah, urban living.
See, this is what those contracts will change.
Yeah. You will. Yeah, I will not hear dump trucks anymore. I don't know where I'm moving, but apparently they won't have dump trucks. Yeah, this is where it starts to move in a direction that becomes. I'm now managing talent that trains talent. But we do this first one first and knock it out of the park.
So we're good to go. I'm going to tell you, I look forward to the day when I show up somewhere and I see Adam Contras in a suit and a tie in an office somewhere at Virtual Presence Operations.
I had my...
What are these? I saw these different colored shoes.
What's crazy is this is what everybody who works at Virtual Presence is going to be wearing on the sidelines. So every time you see a game, you're going to know, oh shit, Virtual Presence is at that game.
Whose idea was that?
Mine.
So where are these special made sneakers or something?
No, but to me it was a nod to 3D. Right? Remember the old school 3D glasses?
Oh yeah. 3D.
So it's just a reminder of this is what I'm moving this forward. That's you know, because I'm in love.
So how you gonna promote that though? I mean, that's obviously the only pair.
No, dude, I just bought 2 pair, one green, one red.
No, I get that. I get that.
No, yeah, you can buy them on Amazon right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm gonna have to buy a bunch of them.
But I mean, they say hello. Will they be able to say Virtual Presence?
Oh no, that's just the brand of it. But my point is I was in that meeting wearing those shoes with jeans and a t-shirt
and
with a bunch of guys in suits.
So you'll be wearing a suit with those shoes on.
Maybe.
You'll be wearing
I'm not gonna be wearing a suit.
You will.
You know, some of these CEOs just wear jeans and a t-shirt, and they're just fine.
You'll be at the CEOs.
What about it?
Okay, man, watch.
What the fuck am I?
He'll wear a tie. What the fuck am
I? I mean, what else would I be? Although, I mean...
I think you'll wear a suit and tie in the boardroom.
I was in the boardroom while billionaires were arguing, and I still wear...
When the parent company comes in.
That's true. When Google buys me out or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the story, and that's probably why this is... we're going to come to the end of the VR journey until this shit gets a lot easier to do, because this is really fucking difficult right now, which has really paid off for me. Because if it was any easier, I'm pretty sure other people would have done it. There you go. That is May, and I can't believe it is still May. This craziness started exactly 4 weeks ago, and yeah, I hope to see the signatures here pretty soon. But now it's just the logistics of distribution and all that kind of stuff. First check comes in July 1st.
July 1st.
There we go.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, and congratulations to your newfound.
Sawatika.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sure what to call it.
You can call it Zen. You can call it peace.
No, I love it, dude. You're a completely different human on the phone now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. You are also, he literally got off the plane.
So if I look burned out,
yeah, dude.
You're right.
This is not the normal reason he looks like this. He's actually got a legitimate reason to look like this.
Only to get on another plane tomorrow morning.
Going to Dallas.
Look out, Dallas. Here we come.
Man.
Back to the Future, 40th anniversary. This will be the biggest cast reunion in the history of
the really?
franchise.
It's everybody now.
It's like 15, 16 people.
Wow. Is that bigger than London then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So,
all right.
Tally ho, here we go. Congratulations,
Thank you, brother.
Boo! Yeah.
Oh, and there's a lot more of these. Please check out my other VRLogs and subscribe and comment. It means the world to me.